What is up, guys? Welcome back to Truth and Transparency. Here is part 2 coming. I'm gonna let those notifications click in. It's Atlanta Marathon, look out. Broke these two up. It's easier for people to, I guess, you know, see them, watch them, know where they're at, things like that. Atlanta is spoiling us. Again, welcome to the Transparency. This is part 2, picking up right where part 1 left off. So, again, thanks for being here. Make sure when it's all said and done, you either hit the thumbs up or hit the thumbs down. You have to have an opinion one way or another, right? Use your opinion, use your touch DNA. Again, hello, everybody. Hello, members, moderators, subscribers. All right, here you go.
Listen, folks, I know there's a history here. I'd like to get this hearing in today. You know, everybody needs to just focus on the relevant facts, okay? I know there's a history here. I don't find opening statements particularly helpful because I know I'm going to hear the same stuff that she's going to say. She's getting little pieces I've heard. You're going to say your client's someone being harassed. This is abuse of the process. I'd like to just get started with evidence. Is that okay, Ms. Rayani?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Zimmerman?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, perfect. All right, Ms. Rayani, how do you want to proceed? You have the burden of proof, so how do you intend to proceed today?
I would like to proceed by calling my first witness, Mr. Crafton Barnes, and he has the Zoom link, so.
Okay, you can tell Mr. Barnes to log in right now. Thank you. Is he logging in?
Yep, he said that he had the link and he's.
Yep. I'm here.
Oh, Mr. Barnes, I can't see you.
Okay, let me see. Start video.
There you are. Good morning. Can you hear me? I'm Magistrate Griffin. I'm presiding over the proceedings that you've been called as a witness today.
Yes, Your Honor.
I ask you to raise your right hand, sir. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, as you shall answer to under God or under penalties of perjury?
Yes, I do.
Thank you, sir. Could you state your first and last name and spell both for the record?
Crafton Barnes, CRAFTON BARNES.
Okay, thank you, sir. Okay, Ms. Rayani, you can proceed with your direct examination.
Okay. Good morning, Mr. Barnes. Thank you for being here. Mr. Barnes, how do you know Ms. Oriani?
From YouTube and the internet, essentially.
And Mr. Barnes, how do you know Ms. Walsh?
From the internet, from social media and the internet.
And what was your relationship like with Miss Oriani prior to May of 2022?
It was acrimonious. It was pretty much making jabs at each other online and just being, just was not friendly.
Okay, and what was your relationship like with Miss Walsh prior to May 2022?
I had not spoken with her in a long time or had any communication with her in a long time. Prior to that, I was a member of her Facebook group called Unmasking Chris Watts.
Okay. And at some point, did Miss Walsh use her telecommunications device to get in contact with you?
Yes.
And how did she do that?
Through a third party, Nina Narrates. Her name is Vanina Sukaritkel.
What's the name again?
Vanina Sukaritkel.
Do you have any idea how to spell that?
Yes, Susharitkul is the last name.
First name?
Vanina, Vanina.
Okay. And do you recall when this happened?
It was early January of 2022.
Okay. And what was the purpose for this third party, Nina Narrates, Vanina Suzuka, and Vanessa Walsh getting in contact with you?
Objection, Your Honor. She's asking about hearsay through Miss Vanina. I don't understand what she's asking. It sounds like she's asking for hearsay testimony.
Okay, because part of it was because.
I can rephrase that question.
Please do. Okay, go ahead.
Mr. Barnes,
Go ahead.
when you were contacted, you said it was via telecommunications device?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Was it on the internet?
Yes.
In what capacity? What social media?
Social media, direct messaging.
Direct messaging
On Facebook.
Okay.
Sending, yes.
Did at some point you get into a group chat with Vanessa Walsh and Nina Narrates?
Yes, I did.
What was the I would like to, at some point, did you send Miss Oriani that group chat?
Yes, I did.
Do you recall the date?
May, early May, no, precisely, I think it was May 9th or so,
Okay.
or May 11th, somewhere in that area,
Or what year?
of 2022.
Thank you.
I have the, Mr. Barnes, do you have the BL exhibit of the complete downloaded chat between you, Miss Walsh, and Nina in front of you?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Ms. Oriani, can you send a copy of that to me, please?
Yep, and in fact, I was gonna have Mr. Barnes, because he has that copy, and I have the hard copy for Miss Thornton registration. I can, my phone just goes so slow in here. I thought I emailed it last night.
You did not.
Okay, hold on. Do you have a format right now that you can email all your exhibits or?
My Dropbox exploded, it like crashed.
Okay.
So it was a heck of a time. The Dropbox that I had, it's not.
Okay, well, how can we get Ms. Zimmerman?
Oh, I can send it to her. Ms. Zimmerman, what's your Like, are you okay with Mr. Barnes sending that to you right now?
It needs to come from you, Ms. Oriani.
Okay. Mr. Barnes, will you forward me that again? And then I'm gonna have to,
Let's see.
I don't have internet in here.
We got it up on your computer. Oh, that's your computer. Oh, sorry.
I can,
Um,
is there a password or is it just the ATTY?
it pops up a sign-in screen that you just click connect.
Yeah, Mr. Barnes, are you able to try to forward that to me and I can use my phone to do it? Because it's saying that I'm not on the internet. It's going round and round.
I mean, it's a large file, so I don't know if it'll come to your phone. It's a PDF.
Well, I was just gonna forward the email then to Miss Zimmerman.
Hang on. So your Dropbox is not working?
No, it crashed.
Okay. I'm just interjecting here. I apologize. Okay. There's a lot of logistics issues. You have a lot of documents there. Is this going to have to go back and forth all day with emailing exhibits?
No, because there's not that many because it's,
Okay.
I'm sticking to the bare bones here.
Okay.
I'm
I just
sticking
want to
to
make sure because we don't have time to be doing this and we may have to reconvene to get her the exhibits.
I had sent some to Ms. Zimmerman last night as well. Did you receive those last night, Ms. Zimmerman?
I received an email from you, Ms. Oriani, saying that you would send it by Dropbox, and I never received anything from you with a Dropbox link.
Yeah, prior to that?
You mean?
I've re-forwarded it.
Okay, thank
I
you, Mr.
received a
Barnes.
list of the exhibits you intend to use, but not the exhibits themselves.
Can I get on this? Oh, here we go.
Ms. Oriani, if I send you a Dropbox link, can you upload your exhibits to my Dropbox so that I can see them?
Yeah, I'm trying to get on the internet here. Can I step out to forward this to her? Because it's here, it's circling.
Okay. And I apologize, it's the courtroom Wi-Fi is not the best.
Your Honor, am I okay to cut my camera off?
I prefer you didn't, sir.
Okay,
Okay? I need to be able to see and hear you. Thank you.
no problem.
Ms. Zimmerman, did that go through?
I don't have it yet.
We'll give it a minute. So, Mr. Rayani, my question to you, this isn't your fault because as a courtesy, we're letting them appear by Zoom, okay?
Okay.
So this is not anything you're doing wrong. But as you see, logistically, we're having issues already. We've got 2 questions underway. My question to you is how many exhibits are you intending to show that we're gonna have this problem all day with her being able to see it?
Not that many, because the
What?
big,
When you say not that many, I'm asking you, do you have 5 or 6 exhibits or do you have 30? Because it's gonna be,
I would say like 7 exhibits, something around that, like
I mean,
no more than 10.
can you send all those to her right now that you intend to use? I think it'd be more helpful just to send her all your exhibits right now that you intend to use so that we don't have this problem that we have to keep stopping every 15 minutes so you go outside and it's not your fault. I'm not blaming you. I'm just trying to figure out what's the best way to get this done.
And Your Honor, I do have that attachment.
Perfect. Okay, so that went through.
Okay, so
So is it?
his testimony is all this.
Okay, well, maybe before you start the next witness,
Okay.
we'll keep going, but I can't keep doing this every time you have an exhibit that it takes 15 minutes to get it sent. So at some point, we're just gonna have to have all exhibits sent so that they're ready to go. That's why I'm asking, okay? All right, so you called this BL.
Yeah.
That's what you're calling it, but is that how you have all your exhibits marked? I don't know what your, or should we start from 1?
We can start from 1. That's fine.
Okay,
with
so
that.
I'm gonna call this petition exhibit 1.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Barnes, do you recognize that document?
Yes, I do.
Is that a true and accurate representation of your messages between yourself, Ms. Walsh, and Vanina Sakatal?
Yes, it is.
When did you provide that to Ms. Oriani?
That would have been in September or May. The last time I've sent it a couple times.
This May 11th,
Yeah, May 11th was
2022.
Yeah, 2022.
And can you describe for the courts when that was created and what year?
This would be January 3rd, 2022.
And what was the nature of why it was created?
To collect as much information to take down Lana Oriani, Miss Oriani, to collect everybody's information together and assist Mrs. Walsh in pursuing taking an action against Miss Oriani.
Mr. Burns, did Ms. Walsh ask you to go file a temporary restraining order against Ms. Oriani?
Yes.
I'm going to direct your attention that it works backwards when you download them. So it's page 25. January 4th, 2022 at 11:29 and 33 seconds. at Craft and Barnes, can you go to the police and try and get a restraining order to make it so she can't talk about you online?
Yes.
Why did you do that?
No, I did not. And I let her know that was impossible.
Where do you reside, Mr. Barnes?
In New Jersey.
New Jersey?
Yep.
In this group message, do you recall Ms. Walsh saying anything about Ms. Oriani's minor child?
Yes, she has.
I can turn you to page,
Miss Oriani, I'm sorry. I'm looking at page 25, and I think that the page numbers that I'm looking at may be different. Will you just point me to the previous site you mentioned about the temporary protection
I saw it
order?
on the top of page 24. I should have mentioned that too, because you said it's on page 25, but isn't it actually on page
yeah, I'm sorry.
24?
Yes.
Okay.
What I see at the top of page 24 is it says reacted and then a frowny face to your message from Nessa Carolyn from March 10th of 2022.
Okay.
What date is it? Oh, yeah, yours, so it goes in the opposite order. So like you want to go, yours is going to work backwards because it's the downloaded version. So the date was January 4th, 2022 at,
Miss Oriani, I have numbers at the bottom, handwritten numbers. Does the copy sent her not have those same handwritten numbers?
It does not, Your Honor.
not the downloaded ones.
Okay, that's the problem then. Okay, if you go to it's January 4th, 2022 at 11:29 and 33 seconds. That's the email she was just reading.
Were you able to see it, Ms. Zimmerman?
I am still scrolling through. It's 131 pages.
Yep, a lot of fuckerage.
Okay, hold on, I'm getting closer.
Okay.
Okay, will you tell me the timestamp one more time? I'm sorry, I'm on January 10th.
January 4th, and the timestamp is 11:29 and 33 seconds PM.
I apologize, Your Honor. I'm scrolling through this. It's challenging without the page numbers. Okay, I found it.
Okay, thanks. Great. Okay, and then where you left off, Ms. Oriani, you'd asked him within the group chat if Ms. Walsh had said stuff about your minor child, and he said yes, and that's where we left off.
What specifically do you recall being said about my minor child?
That you shouldn't have custody of him.
And do you recall on page 17, well, it's January 3rd, 2022 at 8:42 p.m., You say, I'm
Are
sorry.
you gonna point it to him, because Ms. Zimmerman needs time to get there?
Yep, January 3rd, Ms. Zimmerman, at 8:42 PM in 48 seconds.
Okay.
Okay.
42 and 48 seconds. Okay.
Yeah, 8:42 and 48 seconds. Okay. Mr. Barnes, it states all of that needs to be compiled and sent to Erin Leanne Steele, in my opinion.
Yes.
And you then send a cluster maps and it says /Steele.
Yes, ma'am.
Who is Erin Leanne Steele?
That is Ms. Oriani's ex-wife.
And where it says Nessa Carolyn, is that Vanessa Walsh?
Yes, it is.
And she hearted your comment?
Yes, she did.
And then she asks, okay, can we do so anonymously?
Yes, she asked that.
And then she says, well, guess it doesn't matter at this point.
Correct.
And then on the next page there, but for you, Ms. Zimmerman, it would be at 8:51 and 53 seconds on January 3rd. Mr. Barnes, you say, well, yeah, it's only going to be thought of as shift happens or Aunt Lala at this point. She thinks they live to play games and aren't taken serious. I think Lala should, to be honest.
Yes.
What does that mean?
That means that if Ms. Steele is contacted by any of these three individuals, then it would, let's see, let me look. Then if it got back to Ms. Oriani, she would think it was one of them three and not Ms. Walsh. And I recommended Lala because she was the most obsessed with Ms. Oriani.
Okay. Now you had a private one-on-one message going on with Nina separately from this?
Yes, I did.
And do you recall in those private group messages what Nina said about Operation Takedown Lana Oriani?
Objection, hearsay.
Give me a second. So you were part of a text message thread with Nina?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, all right, but, I mean, I'll sustain the objection. You can ask him, you know, what they were talking about, but you can't ask him what she said.
Mr. Barnes, what were you and Nina, narrates Vanina Shakatal, discussing prior to starting this three-way group chat?
Methods of how to destroy Ms. Oriani online through telecommunications. Methods and tactics, in other words.
Do you recall Nina saying that she had Snuffles and Nessa at her fingertips?
Objection, hearsay.
Give a response. She's saying that's hearsay, because that's what somebody else said.
Okay, yep.
Okay, all right, I'll sustain the objection.
Mr. Barnes, were you aware of anybody contacting my ex?
No, not personally. I knew attempts were being made.
Okay. And then on January 4th at 2:16 p.m. and 38 seconds, Mink Shekatal Nina says it's added to the Dropbox at Nessa Carolyn. Can I add Crafton to it?
Objection, hearsay.
That's
Give me 1 second. At 2:16.
It's a statement by someone who's not testifying in court.
It's actually an objection to the hearsay rule, but I wasn't prepared for that, but now I am. It's Rule 801, plotting and planning. It beats all hearsay.
What's the timestamp?
Oh, yours is gonna be, it's not page 19. Oh, no, you're fine. It's January 4th, 2022. Okay.
Okay, well, I'll sustain the objection. I mean, although Mr. Barnes was part of this group chat, you can ask him questions about
Yeah.
how he responded to certain things, why he responded to certain things, if he took actions. That would not be hearsay, if that's the purpose you're using it for, but you can't,
Okay.
he can't testify that she said this, because you're not presenting her as a witness, are you?
No, she's in Paris.
Lucky her, okay, all right.
Mr. Barnes, on page 20 for us, it's on January 4th at 12:59 and 34 seconds. Nessa Carolyn says, I'm reporting her nonprofit.
Yes, she does.
Was that part of Operation Takedown Lan Oriani?
Yes, it was. The purpose was to smear her reputation online and to have as much damage done to her nonprofit as possible, and frankly, to interfere with custody of her child.
And on page 22, which is at January 4th, 7:47 p.m., it says, Nessa Carolyn says, at Crafton Barnes, do you have all 200 Shazam videos?
Yes, it does.
Did you provide Miss Walsh with any Shazam videos?
No, I did not. I didn't have 200 anyway. I only had roughly 20, I think.
Okay. Did you send her
I
a
didn't know there
link?
was 200.
Did you send her a Google link for those?
At a certain point, yeah. I sent her what I had, and I was like, it's not 200, but, this is what I have.
Okay. And were those videos private Snapchat videos of Miss Oriani?
Yes, they were.
So Miss Walsh wanted private videos from Miss Oriani's Snapchat.
Yes, she did.
On page 23, Nessa Carolyn says, FYI, I went to the cops.
Yes, she does.
What's the timestamp, just so that Mr. Merman has?
The timestamp is, it's right after January 4, 7:47, 22 seconds.
Okay, right after the Shazam video. Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead.
FYI, I went to the cops. I also called the Ohio Attorney General's office. Also, can you teach me how to completely delete old chats? Do you recall that?
Yes, I do.
Did you listen to Aunt Lala's channel where the audio of me and Miss Walsh was played on the internet for the world to hear?
Yes, I did.
Did you hear Miss Walsh's testimony?
Yes, I did.
When she was asked if she went to the police prior to getting a temporary restraining order, what was her response?
That no, she had not.
And that was under oath?
That was under those, yes.
But she told you she went to the cops.
But she told me she did, and that she had also contacted the Attorney General of the state of Ohio. Yes.
And did she want you to do the same?
She was, yes, it was, that was part of the being in this group chat was, yes.
Do you see the next page?
Ms. Oriani, what's the timestamp?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry about that. It's gonna be, well, it's January 4th, 2022 at 11:29 and 33 seconds PM. And that's where Nessa says, at Craft and Barnes, can you go to the police and try and get a restraining order to make it so she can't talk about you online? So that came after her saying she went to the police. That she was then asking you to go to the police.
Yes, because I'm not,
Yeah, okay.
I'm
I was
not a
just
lawyer
making-
or legal.
Okay,
So this was a request.
okay. And then on page 26 at January 4th at 11:57 PM, Craft and Barnes, you say KK emailed me today. Who is
Yes.
KK?
KK is a woman named Kim Kaufman.
Kim
She
Kaufman.
is, yes,
And then Nessa hearted it.
yes.
And on the next page, she writes,
Timestamp, please.
I'm sorry, January 5th, 12:01 and 37 seconds AM, January 5th, 2022. Nessa Carolyn writes, I doubt she's willing to help me. I've had a huge target on my back over the oxy. They can try to twist it however they want, but that's what it is. And you
Yes.
thumbs it up?
Yeah. Yes.
So is Miss Walsh asking you what Kim Kaufman emailed you about?
Yes, she was.
And she doesn't think that she would help her. Kim Kaufman doesn't think that she would like help you guys.
Sorry, repeat the question.
Where she says, I doubt she's willing to help me. Do you see? I doubt she's willing to help me. So were you under the impression that she wanted KK to help her?
Yes, yes. I was under the impression she was asking in one of her videos.
And Mr. Barnes, when you actually looked at that video, what did you come to notice? Did Miss Oriani look you up or did Andrea Powers?
Well, I didn't. No, what I noticed is that the woman Andrea Powers seemed to be the one doing all the looking up and like suggesting it to Ms. Oriani.
And you told Miss Walsh on January 5th right here, 12:02 a.m. that she does have a passionate hatred for Lana. Who are you referring to?
To Kim Kaufman.
And then she says, well, does she have anything else that can support her stalking or doxing?
Correct.
Okay, on page 30 for us, Ms. Zimmerman, January 6th, 2022 at 2:37 p.m. And on January 6th, Mr. Barnes, do you begin making videos about Miss Oriani?
Yes.
And putting them, and how do you make a video? Do you use telecommunications devices?
Yes, I do.
And you put them out on the internet?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So you were knowingly making false statements concerning my reputation and or criminal conduct with videos?
Not false statements. I was making fun of it, parody of it.
What was it designed to do?
To just to galvanize the negative attention on Ms. Oriani.
Was it designed to harass me?
Yes.
Was it designed to intimidate?
Yes.
Purpose to abuse?
And to abuse all, yes.
And Nessa Carolyn on January 6th, 2022 says, I think that's brilliant.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
To you doing this?
Yes.
What's the timestamp on that, please?
January 6th, 2022. Oh, at 2:38 and 10 seconds. Sorry about that.
Okay, I found it.
And she says it again.
Okay. And at the same time that you're making these videos, Mr. Barnes, who else from Miss Walsh's team is making videos?
Aunt Lala, which is Alicia Farrar. Someone named.
Wait, I'm going to object to foundation. I don't know what she's saying with Ms. Walsh's team, and
I'll sustain
understand
that.
it.
You need to.
I will rephrase. Mr. Barnes, when you were making these videos, were you aware of other people making videos to do the same thing at the request of Ms. Walsh?
Yes. Yes.
Objection, Your Honor, that answer, for him to answer that this is at Ms. Walsh's suggestion, they need additional foundation, and also it sounds like it's hearsay, but I don't know until there's foundation.
I agree. You need to lay a little more foundation, okay?
Okay, no problem. I'll come back to that so that it has actually the proof and everything, so I'm gonna just come back to that. On January 6th, 2022 at 2:44 and 38 seconds, Nessa Carolyn, Miss Walsh says, public humiliation is how they attempt to silence. They can kiss my ass and release and twist what they want. I will go to the wall after them, and I do have the means. Do you recall that statement?
Yes, I do.
And then right after that, 2 comments after, January 6, 2022 at 2:44 p.m. Nessa Carolyn, Miss Walsh says, I think we all know what happened with the sex panel. It's not rocket science. What is Miss Carolyn referring to, Miss Walsh?
There was a panel.
Objection calls for speculation.
I'll rephrase.
Okay, because if you know,
Yeah, Mr. Barnes, do you have personal knowledge of what the sex panel is?
Yes, I was a part of it.
Mr. Barnes, you were a part of it?
Yes, I was.
And can you describe for the courts what the sex panel is?
The sex panel was a fabricated event of people claiming that Miss Oriani was sexually harassing them and doing illegal things that she was not doing.
And was this on the internet?
On the internet, yes.
Was this a live broadcast on a YouTube channel?
Yes, it was.
Does the next question up, Miss Walsh, Nessa Carolyn says, does MJ know? She needs to, because she should not have to endure one more second of this, and she's my friend. Who is MJ?
MJ is a woman named Melissa Jade. I don't know any other part of her name. That was one of the primary so-called victims, and that had been in our chat and was a moderator for me on my YouTube channel. So that's how we being me and Melissa Jade were connected in this sex panel debacle.
And Melissa Jade was on the sex panel?
Yes, she was pretty much the primary so-called victim.
Was she really a victim?
Objection, relevance.
Wait, was it parody?
well, hang on, there's injection of
Oh, okay,
relevance.
sorry.
What's the relevance?
A Blaine Foundation.
Okay, I'm not sure where she's going with it, but I'll overrule, keep going.
Because you said that Melissa Jade was one of the main participants?
Yes, and orchestrators of it.
Okay. And it says here, Nessa Carolyn, Miss Walsh says that she's my friend, right? Is that what that means? She's MJ's
Yeah.
friend?
Yes.
Okay. Right here, on page 40 for us, and then the date is January 6th, 2022 at 4:05 p.m. Vanessa Walsh, Miss Walsh says, I really think we all need to put differences aside for a good cause for optimum effectiveness. Could you consider unblocking MJ? I realize there are hurt feelings and bad blood all around, but maybe we can work to mend that.
Yes, correct.
She wanted you to unblock Melissa Jade?
Yes, she did, because we On my channel, after the sex panel, we had fired her from our channel and blocked her and was no longer in direct communication with Melissa Jade whatsoever.
And then that way we are all working together,
Yeah.
moving in the same direction, and can help support what the other is doing.
Yes.
P.S.
Yeah.
This is not me conspiring. I'm trying to mediate. So, does Melissa Jade become part of Operation Takedown Lana Oriani at this point?
Yes. Good.
On the next page, page 41, January 6th at 4:08 p.m. Okay, so I just spoke with her and she's willing to put it behind. Who is she referring to?
She's referring to Melissa Jade, MJ.
And she then says, Miss Walsh, Vanessa Carolyn, Miss Walsh here, we all have the same goal.
Correct. Yes.
What is that goal?
To destroy Ms. Oriani's reputation, her nonprofit organization, and to put her into jail.
To put her into jail?
Yes. To seek criminal action against her.
And this is January 6th, 2022.
Yes.
Then she says, Miss Vanessa Carolyn says, at least think it over. Shit, she's live. Who was she saying is live?
Ms. Oriani.
So Miss Vanessa Walsh was watching me?
Yes, she was.
She was monitoring me with her telecommunications device?
Yes, she was.
January 6th, 2022 at 5:08 p.m. On page 43 for us. 5:08 p.m. in 4 seconds. Nessa Carolyn, Miss Walsh says, at Craft and Barnes, can you trace an account? Then right after that, January 6th, 6:12, Keaton. Do you recall this, Mr. Barnes?
Yes, correct.
And then that little, is that like a little picture there?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Do you remember what that is or what that was?
That was a screenshot of something this Keaton person had said in somebody's chat, I believe in the live of Ms. Oriani's.
Objection to the extent Ms. Oriani is trying to admit a statement by a person named Keaton. I object to hearsay.
This is,
All right, well,
I-
I'll
I-
overrule for now because he just said what that was a picture of without saying the contents.
yeah. So Miss Walsh with her telecommunications device sent you a screenshot
Yes.
and wanted you to trace an account.
Yes.
Did you
Yes.
know who Keaton was at the time?
No idea.
Did you
No, I
trace
did
the
not.
account?
No, I did not.
At any point after this obviously has all happened, did Miss Oriani ever make you aware of who that was?
Yes, she did.
And who was this Keaton account?
Woman named Bella?
And what relationship does Bella have to Miss Oriani?
Objection calls for speculation.
If you know this, if you have personal knowledge?
Yes.
Okay, it's all overrule if you have personal knowledge.
Yes, that's her girlfriend.
Miss Oriani's?
Miss Oriani's girlfriend, yes.
Mr. Barnes, are you familiar with a channel called Father Snugglenut?
Yes, I am.
Father Snuffles?
Yes.
Whose channel is that?
James
the owner?
Angelo Rusakos. He's the owner.
Who? I didn't hear.
James Angelo Rusakos.
Have you been seeing his posts on the internet and his videos?
Yes, I have.
Have you seen him use his telecommunications device to upload a video or a community post about this Bella person?
Yes.
Objection is like layers of hearsay about a post from a person who's not here, talking about a post from another person who's not here.
Okay, well, I'm going to overrule because he's just saying he saw posts on, I'm assuming, the Father Snuggles channel, and he, okay, I'll overrule it. Keep going.
Mr. Barnes, have you ever had a personal interaction with James Angelo?
Yes.
Who is he to you? How do you know him?
He's regarded in the community as the unmasked manager or Mrs. Walsh's personal manager.
Miss Walsh's personal manager?
Yes.
So, Miss Walsh's personal business manager?
Yes. Yes. Precisely.
Has he ever threatened you, Mr. Barnes?
Yes, he has.
When did he
Multiple
threaten you?
times. I don't have the dates in front of me, but it's been in the year 2022 since after everything happened.
When you say since everything happened, was it
Yeah.
after you gave me this group chat?
Yes, it was after. Yes. After I and Miss Oriani had mended or had become friends.
Mr. Barnes, you were set to testify in a case that was heard here as Oriani versus Barry, or Felicia Ferrara. Felicia?
Yes.
And you said you had an emergency that day. You were set to be the first witness.
Yes, it was.
What happened that morning?
My wife was having an emotional crisis.
Why was that, Mr. Barnes?
Because things were being put up on the internet about a very personal situation by Snuffles, by James Angelo, by all of these people, and images of a man like being violent towards my wife were on thumbnails on James Angelo's YouTube channel.
Mr. Barnes, that was November 21st, 2023, or no, 22? Was that date? The hearing?
November. Yes.
And
I'll get my years messed up.
do you recall a post by Vanessa Walsh? Yep, it's the same day under the Father Snugglenut.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, these two are.
What is the timestamp for that, Ms. Oriani?
I'm sorry?
What is the timestamp for that?
I'm actually reading from I'm asking him if he recognizes this post, and then I'll be admitting it after if he recognizes it.
Okay.
Vanessa put a post under the father snuggle nut photo on November 21st. Yep, these two are repulsive and neither are any type of victims. This has become ridiculous. These people are spineless, immoral, gaslighting, manipulative pieces of crap, and they aren't even good at it. Crafton and Kim are fine exploiting and harassing others. They are the definition of creators that go real life. They can't handle any spotlight on their behaviors, though. I've noticed that all of these types have the same traits. They are all so weak and cowardly, unless terrorizing others. I've learned to laugh at a lot of the hypocrisy. I'd actually feel sorry for them if they weren't harming so many others. Meanwhile, Crafton is another shitbag's character witness. You can't make this shiz up. I'm not a person that can pretend to be this stupid.
Yes.
Do
Right.
you
Are
recall
you saying you saw that post?
Yes, absolutely.
And
I don't have a copy of that, Your Honor. Can
this is, I believe I forwarded it because actually you were CC'd on it on Tuesday, November 22nd. I emailed this to you on Tuesday, November 22nd at 11:45 a.m. And I did a whole email about witness intimidation, what your client was doing to my witnesses.
Hold
I don't
on,
have a copy of this exhibit for court.
hold on. Okay. You may have given it to her a couple of months ago when this
I've got a-
happened, but
yeah.
we're gonna need to forward it to her right now, okay? And I'm gonna label this your exhibit 2.
Ms. Zimmerman, would it be best if you just, it's this, the exhibit that I admitted is the November 22nd email with the attached post?
Ms. Oriani, that doesn't work because I don't
Okay, I just
understand
have to
whether it's
step
just
out
the
then.
attachment or whether it's the email or whether it is, some other component of that. So I would like you to email me the
Forward her
exhibit.
the exhibit. Go ahead. You
Okay,
can step out to do that.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Cool, calm, and collected. Say my name. It was sent, Mr. Zimmerman. Make sure you got it.
I did get it. So is it the email? Because I don't, or
It should have the attachment.
there's an attachment, but there's also a email with a lot of,
It's just the picture. It's just the,
Okay, well, I think her point is that you did attach to my copy too, your email, but that's not really what you're trying to admit. You're trying to admit this post.
correct, no.
Okay.
I have the post.
Okay.
So, Ms. Oriani, I have the post, but I don't have the post that it's commenting on. I just have the comment from Ms. Walsh. Is that correct?
Right, it says Father Snuggle Nuts.
Yes.
That's the channel that posted it, and that's her comment underneath his post that day. That's why it was
Right. I don't see his post. I only see the comments. Is that correct?
Yes.
correct.
Okay.
I just left enough into there so you could see
All
the.
right, just keep going.
Okay. Okay. Mr. Barnes, page 45 for us, timestamp is January 6th, 6:30 p.m. We aren't going to maintain a full-out thing with MJ. Dealing with Lana needs all of us, I agree. I have been emailing with her since our cat died last week. I thought that was very decent of her to express her condolences about that, even if it was. Did you recall that?
Yes, I do.
Then you are right after that, or two up rather. At this point, I'm ready to manufacture parody phone calls at the time to my radio station. And be aware that what's in it for me is Atlanta's game and her fans. Like Randy's watching and Dorothy surviving the storms. Had an effect on channel, and I need to reverse immediately. So I do have selfish reasons there, but I also want to draw Lana's maximum impact from all of you guys.
Yes, I say draw Lena's fire.
Were they telling you that I was firing at them?
Objection. To the extent it's asking for someone's testimony is not going to be a court, I object to hearsay.
Well, why don't you rephrase? You can ask him how he perceived this communication.
Mr. Barnes, how did you perceive this communication?
That Miss Oriani was like reacting to all of the harassment, and that so I was going to step up and be the main one that she would be reacting to give them an opportunity to do more damage on their own.
Right before that, you say, I have some audio muting to get these names out, and I will do mine in a couple hours. I need to decide if I want to pre-tape or try to pull it off alive and chat back to people, etc. Also, I need to come up with a major clickbait style title. Well, this will show that Lana's troll game is actually rather weak and obvious. Mr. Barnes, do you recall what you named those videos?
No, I don't. No, I don't off the top of my head.
Up top here on January 6th at 6:41 p.m. and 38 seconds, debunking Shazam. Do you see that?
Yeah, I see that.
Okay. Oh, did we lose him? Can you fill this up outside? Oh, there you go, Mr. And then you say this is me saying game on?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Then Vanessa says, Ms. Walsh, it's time for game on. She's trying to blackmail me too. Fuck it. So you were under the impression that Miss Oriani was blackmailing Miss Walsh?
Yes, I was.
So Ms. Walsh with a telecommunications device is knowingly inciting another person through a telecommunications device or other means to harass or participate in the harassment of a person.